So I think I found something a little bit better. So with this build I have right now, I'm pretty sure you can use this without even using a double enchant. If you can get 2 emotions for like 6 to 8 brills a piece, brilliant gems a piece, and you just get this set up, you can get like super a lot. You can basically do anything. So the first build that I showcased had like Toaladins and stuff with infinite healing, but when I could solo a max difficulty ice caverns with it, but all the Toaladins were basically dying. And the problem is that if surging doesn't work, your DPS suffers massively. So I'm pretty sure with this build you can just use single enchant and still do a lot of damage. So you can use like sacrificial on everything and still be good. And then I got Possession Blade because I realized that the Boglord ring, if you have one of it and one of it infused, it buffs your damage by like 60% because it gives you 2% per minion. And if you got 2 of them, well yeah, and I have Cursed. So yeah, I've got Cursed instead of Vampire, and then I just use the Curse Rip handle, which gives Weakening and Curse Rip. So the healing on this build is actually a lot stronger. Some guy told me that Curse Rip was better instead of using Vampire Guild, but when I tried to give him something he could do with his build, he just got mad and blocked me, so I don't feel like he deserves credit. But yeah, so Curse Rip is slightly stronger than, well, it's stronger than Vampire Guild, but it also, one thing is that it limits you. So with Vampire, you get to use like you get to use the pole with Reinforce with Warden ring, and that gives all of your summons auto block, whereas with Curse Rip you can't do that. You have to use 1 summoning piece and 1 Curse Rip piece. So Vampire Guild is probably better if you want to experiment, but this build is a lot stronger if you just want like healing and stuff. And another thing is you can't even get Toaladins unless you're using 2 summoner pieces. So Curse Rip is good, but actually compared to Vampire Guild might be a lot stronger for like, you know, summon health and auto block and all of that stuff. Because with the B pull you can get Warden ring combo, whereas with this it's kind of just, you know, everything is predetermined and you can't really change anything else. So yeah, so the Curse Rip handle with the Possession Blade. And the reason why I have the Possession Blade is because when you summon a bunch of different summons, what it'll do is it'll make your Boglord more effective. Because if you have 1 infused and 1 worn Boglord, and you put down 1 turret and it kills like 10 mobs, you pretty much have your Boglord perk maxed out already. So this is probably the one I would use for single enchant, because with sacrificial only, this is still really good because the cooldown is only 3 seconds as long as you have the Cursed Guild. Yeah, if you have Cursed Guild, the cooldown is only 3 seconds. So you can spam it pretty much just as often as with Surging. I mean, here's the thing, like, yeah, I'm using Surging to use it a bunch of different times, but the max amount of turrets I get, even with Cursed, is not very much. So as you can see, all of my turrets are getting replaced and everything. So yeah, you're actually better just using, like, Necrotic as a double enchant, because it actually boosts your damage. Well, obviously Necrotic would be worse than Surging if you're going to use the Toaladin build, though, because that's got a 40-second cooldown, so Surging is way more effective. But this build is actually a lot easier to use, and you can use this with just Sacrificial, so this is way better. So yeah, Vampire build is still better for general use, but if you can't afford Sacrificial and Surging, I would just use this instead, because this is a lot easier to use with single enchants. It's only got a 3-second cooldown with double emotions and Cursed, so yeah.